We get it going. Okay, finally, after one false start, one semi-false start, ladies and gentlemen of Twitch chat, your January Nova Cup Grand Finals are here. Abrasiert on the left versus Siege Ram on 7 on the right. Let's get this show on the road.
Oh yeah. Alright. What are the mastermind options? YOLO from Widderson. Oof. That's some big balls.
Oh, Widderson, amazing. Sorry, I was just updating the scoreboard, so a bit of a delayed reaction there, but I absolutely love the YOLO to start off these grand finals. Very, very solid there, Mr. Widderson. YOLO or no balls, that's what I always say. And Widderson showing us all that he has very big balls here.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for it, especially against Rostovshchik and Isolde, just because they like to starve so much. And if they happen to save for a wave where you did not happen to roll a good unit for, it's a very, very sad situation.
Yeah.
Just like you've experienced many times on the ladder.
Never. I've never lost a game in my life. But look at Kingdanz's roll. He has Nightmare, Berserker. I'm really surprised, actually. He had Tempest and Firelord in his roll as well. And also the Seedling, which pairs very well. But, I mean, you can't really complain about Nightmare, Butcher, Oathbreaker in any role. An Egg, yeah.
With Hero in the game, yeah.
The one thing he's lacking is some magic damage, and that's kind of why I thought that he would pick the Tempest and the Firelord instead of the APS and the Egg, but I can see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, and it begins! It begins!
Yeah, and this 5 worker starts with a Pro League.
With a Pro League. Pretty juicy.
And Widder can't push. Like, Widder is very weak on wave 2 to a DT.
Yeah.
Usually you want to go 5 workers with that opener, because you're strong on 2, 3, 4. Well, you're not strong on 2, but you have enough value. But against the DT, you can't. So now he has to stay 4 workers.
He has to stay 4 workers, and I wonder if Kingdanzz will do the same.
No.
Probably won't, right?
King is pushing.
He is pushing. Okay, so
It's
5 workers on the King.
It's the correct play. He has Oathbreaker, but Isolde is not sending, so they are going for a wave 3 play, I assume.
Yeah, and the Buckler won't do very much for Widderson on wave number 3. Worth pointing out, by the way, Widderson has already had to use his reroll, so he's lost out 1 income from that YOLO all the way back down to 6, and he still didn't find a tier 1, which is really what you're looking for when you go for a wave 1 YOLO reroll.
Oh yeah, that's why you reroll on wave 1, because you can't reroll afterwards anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't reroll a tier 1 afterwards anymore. Oof.
Okay.
I mean, what's even his play? Is he just gonna add like an infiltrator and boost?
I think he has to, right? Like, this Fiend is just going to delete the Buckler. The Buckler just simply does not exist. There'll be a Snail coming out from Isolde as well, which is going to tie up the Infiltrator for a little while. And I think a lot of this is going to come down to whether the Fiend wraps onto the Deep Coiler or not after killing the Buckler. Because if that Fiend goes onto the Serpent, sorry, not the Coiler, he's just going to be really in trouble there for Widderson, I think.
Oh, he's going for the Sea Dragon, but he's not boosting. I'm not sure if that's gonna go well for him, because the Fiend and half the wave, they will probably
Look
go
at this, though.
For this, no?
What an absolutely perfect 3-way split there for Widderson.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is getting his Serpent killed.
Yeah.
And Kingdanzz is leaking to the 60 cent. So a little bit of RNG involved in that, but he's only leaking very small.
Yeah, and Widder just holds because he stayed 4 workers.
Yeah.
That's very good.
So even though his unit's not the best here, the power of value turns out it was enough. Widderson holds against the 80 cent there.
Yeah. And now Kingdanzz, 7 workers, everyone else is on 6 workers.
Yeah,
He's gonna scale.
It begins.
Yeah, Nightmare Oathbreaker is like one of the best combos you can roll for early game scaling. And if the enemy tries to play like aggressively and for leaks, it doesn't really, I don't know, starve you that much, because you still get 5 workers for wave 3, you get a big send there, you push 7, you're fine on wave 5.
Yeah, but worth pointing out that everybody's on 7 workers. So King
Oh,
got
yeah.
there slightly sooner, but as soon as income kicked in, everybody else caught up.
Yeah. Let's see if Isolde is holding on wave 4, because he might get his atom killed. I'm not sure. Nah, it survives. Okay, then he's probably fine-ish.
I mean, even if he leaks here, it will be very, very small. There's only one chicken attacking the atom. It now defends itself, but he will leak. Does he get one more? He does not.
It's king
Ooh.
damage though.
Oh, Rostov leaking as well. Oh no. Yeah, he went for a second shroom here. He didn't get a consort on time.
Yeah, and that was just income sense. Like,
yeah, and this is just massive amounts of king damage. Like, we see the king being pretty vulnerable in the early game in the current patch, and that's nearly 30% of their health gone just to an income sense.
Yeah.
The game seemed to be going pretty evenly until then, but now Kingdanzz and Widderson, they definitely have an edge.
Yeah. Yeah, they both were weak on 4, and they both pushed the one greedy worker, which I didn't expect, which is why I said they stay on 6 workers. And they got punished. And this is the problem when you go for the Starve, and you both play like very much on the edge, and you leak once, you're just you're in a tough spot already.
Yeah. The one thing I will say in their favour is that Rostovshchik and Isolde are saving. They have a lot of Mythium, a lot more than their opponents, certainly. Nearly 100 more than both of their counterparts. And now that Kingdanzz reset here on wave 5, sure, Isolde's going to leak here, but it's very... Oh no! I was just saying how good the leak is for them, and then Rostov leaks as well!
Yeah, the 8th worker was not a good decision. I think we're seeing some nerves kick in, because he usually doesn't make these mistakes on the ladder.
No.
That's unfortunate.
And now they're at 50% King HP, and certainly starting to feel vulnerable. There is a resend coming from both Kingdanzz and Widderson.
They don't send. Ooh,
no, they're going for the Siege Ram on 7. Come on, dude, it's in the name.
Yeah, but how are they ever holding here? Like, I mean... Right? He's getting a send. He's also getting a send. I mean, Isolde might hold, because atoms are strong on 6. But, like, Rostovshchik is never holding here, right?
I mean, he just can't. He's really low value. He gets a 120 send.
Definitely doesn't die.
Yeah. The Shroom's just deal no damage. This is going to be a pretty bad leak for Rostov. In Isolde, how are you doing? You only got a DT and a king up, so surely he holds and covers his teammate here, surely. Yeah. 77% leak there on Rostov.
This hurts a lot, especially since Widderson and Kingdanzz are strong on 7. So, I mean, they almost had to go 8. Okay, it's a 4-Eyes. A 4-Eyes is gonna leak. It's gonna leak him, but is it really worth it?
He's gonna kill most of the wave, though.
Yeah, exactly.
And these guys are on 37% King HP on wave 6.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll hold now, but...
Yeah, I mean, Widderson's going to be practically on value with a Deep Coiler. He's going to harden his Golem, certainly. Kingdanzz has 248 gold to play with. What's he going to do? Probably just spam some Arcane tanks, I would imagine. Yeah.
I mean, how sure are they the send comes here and not on wave 8?
Widderson, are you shifting 100 gold?
He's
not. Okay, but he's not hardening either.
He didn't harden, yeah. Oh, the lizard is pulling the coiler into the split, maybe, or it's getting the coiler killed after the split dies.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a really smart.
So that coiler's going to die very quickly. Let's have a look at Danz's lane. The 4-Eyes obviously just insane damage against the Nightmares, but yeah, as expected, they just clear up the entire wave. So sure, he's going to leak a 4-Eyes, but nothing else.
Yeah.
Widderson, he leaks the Ogre plus 3 creeps. This is still a lot of damage, right? But it's not going to. It's not going to even things up, I don't think.
No. And even if it does even it up on King HP, like, look at the workers. They still have more workers, and they have 200 or 300 more value on Widderson and Kingdanzz.
And they still have more King HP as well by 15%, so this is starting to look pretty rough now for Rostov and Isolde.
Yeah. But the one thing they have going for them is that now Kingdanzz and Widderson, they also can't make any mistakes. Like, sure, they are far ahead and everything, but if they make one mistake where they both leak quite a decent amount, they can die.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like in the Shay game where they were at 100% King HP and nothing could happen. If they decide to randomly both leak on wave 10, say 30% and maybe like one Ogre or a 4-Ice, this can kill them.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, the same can be said for Isolde and Rostovshchik. But they are so far behind, they can just, you know, they already know they lost the game. So
yeah,
they will just
it
be
does
like,
feel
okay.
that way. Like, look at the worker counts, right? Kingdanzz and Widderson have basically 50% more workers than their opponents. This is starting to look really rough.
Oh yeah. But it's their game to lose, so now they have some pressure, but if there's 2 players in the world that I would trust to not feel pressured by being too far ahead and feeling like, oh no, if I lose this I'm gonna look really bad, it's those 2.
Yeah. For one thing, they're pretty used to being really far ahead, so they've got the experience, you know?
Yeah. But then you could also say Isolde and Rostovshchik might be, you know, experienced in playing from behind, so who knows? But what's their play? Like 8 and 9 workers and being overvalue? They have to be planning like a long save. They have to be planning to go like 13 or 14 right now, right?
I mean, they're doing the good old overbuild and starve, but when you're so far behind in worker count,
yeah,
I don't know. You just don't present that much of a threat. Like, look at the Mythium counts already. Kingdanzz has 100 Mythium more than Rostov.
Yeah, it's not looking too bright. There's the wave 10 cent. I expect Rostov and Isolde to save.
Yeah, which they do. Okay, so part 1 of the comeback is Rostov and Isolde both need to hold here. And for Isolde, I don't know how likely that is. His build is not great here. He does have 2 Disciples. Yeah. He's got Berserker as well if he wants to go for that. And he does, okay. Now, Rostov should hold here. He has 3 Daphne, he has an Avenger there to tank, he has Boz, which of course is the best unit in the game, and Descend is just not that big as well.
Yeah.
He's even ignoring 2 of the snails and the pack leader, so that boss is going to die very quickly.
Sniped on this lane.
Oh, that's pretty good. Alright, so maybe part 1 of the comeback plan is underway. Isolde will still leak. Rostov will not, so that's going to be a hold from him. He should be able to cover Jenham's leak as well.
Yep.
And now they can push the worker button.
Yeah, they will push it, but when do you ever send it to Kingdanzz and Widderson? Is it 13? No. Not really. Is it 12? No. Is it 11? No, you don't have enough Mythium. Is it 14? Not really. Is it 15? Maybe, but 15 is too far, no?
Yeah, there's no way they can go straight 15. And with the villain there for Kingdanzz as well, he's looking really solid on 13, even though it's pierce damage. Villain just opens up those golems, melts them like butter.
Yeah, and now they took Dark Ritual, at least Rostovshchik did, and he pushed really hard. So they are looking for an aggressive play.
I wonder if this is like a suicide for 12 play.
I think it's a 12 play for both of them. Yeah, I kind of expect 12 cents to come now. I expect Rostovshchik to almost leak here, to no send.
Yeah.
And maybe he's gonna continue pushing, but they both don't look amazing on 12, so...
Yeah, meanwhile Kingdanzz and Widderson do look pretty good there. Like, Widderson, not the best damage units, apart from 1 Coiler, but he's gonna have 2 hardened Mudmen.
Oh, they continue pushing. Rostovshchik is suiciding.
He's full
and
suicide.
Isolde pushed 1 more, but Widderson already question marked this lane.
They both leak.
Yeah, and now it's obvious what's happening. Kingdanzz already sending the pack leader. I think
they probably just win the race, right? Because they're going to be so much further ahead in value.
Yeah, exactly. They have so much. I mean, they don't even send much less.
Yeah.
I think this is a good play from Rostovshchik and Isolde, but I don't think the leak is good for them. One of them can leak, maybe, but both of them is too much.
Yeah, and Widderson didn't. Well, his golems were de-hardened on wave 11, so he can just harden them here and have delay for days. Kingdanzz, of course, I mean, he has Nightmare, APS, Villain, Doppelganger with Lifesteal, and he's got the Oathbreakers for tanks as well, so, you know, he's in a pretty good position. And they just have so much more value than their opponents.
He might just hold.
Yeah,
I mean the Sens are a lot bigger.
The Sens are twice the size, but they literally have 600 more value than Rostovshchik does. And Isolde is not exactly holding this Send himself.
No, he does have 2 hardened Mudman, but his build isn't amazing on 12.
Yeah,
and Rostovshchik is already leaking. Yeah.
And Genom is leaking
is
as well.
like,
Kingdanzz is holding easily.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah. Whoa, okay. Game 1, that was a fast one.
Zack, zack, clap, clap, abrasiert.
Abrasiert. Wow.
Oof, that was rough.
Yeah, that was a pretty one-sided game, I think. Maybe some tournament nerves, like you were saying, for Rostov and Isolde. Because they're not normally this easy to handle, right? Like, we just saw them lose so much King HP to a bit of an unforced error on wave 4.
Yeah.
I've never normally seen Rostov leak in the early game. He tends to stay on value and just easily hold. So then even if Isolde leaks 50% there, it's fine, because if he had the consort, he'd easily cover his teammate. They take 0 damage. And then the re-leak to no send on 5. So they're just down to 50% HP already.
Yeah.
And game is already hard.
Yeah. And I think it's also like Kingdanzz had a very, very good role to deal with early pressure.
Yeah.
Like if I go for a pressure play and I see the enemy has Nightmare and then I see Nightmare Oathbreaker on 3, it's very unfortunate. Unless you maybe get Dino in income for 3, but you usually don't. And Widderson stayed very disciplined. Like, he knows, okay, there's a big send coming, I'm just staying 4 workers and I'm holding it. So that's also a mistake I like to make on ladder, because, you know, it's ladder, so I just push 5 workers anyways, and then the send comes and I leak 90%, and then, you know, it's all worth it.
And then game is hard, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at this, like 280 send on wave 7 and Kingdanzz leaks an injured 4 eyes and nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, he's the king for a reason.
Yeah.
But obviously,
absolutely.
Nightmare, Butcher, Oathbreaker just has very little weak waves as well.
Yeah. And yeah, like I like the suicide play there from Rostov and Isolde. It probably was their only chance to win this game.
Yeah.
But Kingdanzz and Widderson weren't to be caught out. They knew exactly what was going on. They sent for a leak there on 12, and that's just all she wrote, you know? 1-0.
Yeah.
Abrasiert in the lead.
Yep. But I mean, I wouldn't count Rostovshchik and Isolde out. This was just a bit of an unfortunate game 1. But now they are probably fine, the nerves have settled, and now maybe Kingdanzz and Widderson don't have roles that deal with pressure so well, especially Widderson likes his angler builds, and if you go for a lot of pressure against those, that can work very, very well.
Yeah, definitely. Alright. Lobby is open. Clown has entered the building.
Yeah, everyone was waiting for you anyway.
That's standard, I'm used to it.
I told them they needed the C-trim on 7.
Almost, yeah.
Very good sports, being so nice.
Yeah.
Chatting and stuff.
Alright, let's go.
Let's go.
Widderson. He's just keeping us hanging as always.
Yeah, he's just sitting there, furiously masturbating to his own gameplay. Okay, starting. Oh.
Alright. So Widderson cannot pick YOLO, Kingdanzz cannot pick... What was Kingdanz's mastermind option last game?
Cartel.
Cartel, okay.
Cartel.
So Conquest format is really good, especially in the best of 5, I think, because you get to see a lot of versatility out of these players. More so that, you know, the best of 3 is still good, but in the best of 5 you really do see them having to mix up their mastermind options. And I think that just makes it a little bit spicy, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And you can't just be a quote-unquote one-trick pony. You have to Like, be able to use different mastermind options. Like, okay, for a normal ladder player, and especially if you're not at the very top of the ladder, it doesn't make a huge difference what you pick. But here, it makes the world's difference whether you pick Cartel or Greed, or Cash Out or Greed, or
Yeah.
Castle, or Redraw, or YOLO. It's
And
such a big difference.
speaking of which, Mr. Julian, would you like to introduce the mastermind options?
Yeah, okay. We have Widderson going for the Quacker special, the redraw. Kingdanzz going for Greed as the tryhard that he is. Rostovshchik trying the Cartel again. It didn't work so well for him last game, but let's see if he can make it work this time. And Isolde going for Greed once again.
Okay. I think Widderson actually really likes redraw at the moment. I was watching his stream the other day, and he was just like over the moon with how crazy his role was. You know, when you get 5 chances to pick the units you want, that's just... It is really strong, right? And that's why it's a 3-income mastermind.
Yeah, it is really strong. And he's going for the same build he did earlier with False Maiden Double Angler. I think it's very strong, but it is naturally very weak on wave 5. And I have full faith in Rostovshchik and Isolde to leak him there.
Yeah.
And Kingdanzz is also picking the Angler. I don't like that as much.
Will he open with it? Or you will. He's going for...
Widder changed his mind because he rerolled Polter Mask.
What a skilled player. He's using the redraw. He gets the Priestess. He gets the Mask. This is why he's top dog. With skills like those, man, he's going to have a game.
Yeah, and he's sending into an egg. Rostovshchik going for the egg opener with Bone Warrior. So, just a fun fact, I think, at least it used to be that way, and I'm pretty sure it's still this way. On wave 2, every tier 1 you can roll, you can hold the egg with, except for Bone Warrior.
Yeah, because it just has no damage, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also because you have very ugly gold usually.
Yeah.
Maybe with Cartel you can get out 3 Bone Warriors and hold, but usually Bone Warrior is very risky on wave 2.
But Kingdanzz is going to be very happy here as well when he sees that he's receiving from a 2-worker egg opener. He knows that he's not under any pressure, though he probably still has to go for the same 4-worker Selgral into presumably Avenger on 4.
Yeah, he's not that happy because now he can't like push over the moon like he could if he had Gate Guard, Bone Crusher, or whatever early game thing. His build is really strong if he has a lot of pressure against him, which he probably expected. So he picked this role.
And the Snail Send actually pretty good for Rostov, because now he can just add 1 steed and be just fine, or a Fire Archer or whatever he wants to do. And he looks like he's going for that Fire Archer, so he could still get the 3rd worker.
Yeah, and he should just hold easily against the snail. I mean, hold his egg. He's obviously holding the wave. We have the greed check on Widderson with the 40. And the mask is already being pinged out by Isolde, who's probably molding about it.
I would be absolutely molding myself if I see my opponent has Priestess Mask in the Grand Finals of the Nova Cup.
Yeah, 7 workers for Widderson.
Yeah. Kingdanzz presumably pushing as hard as his little legs can carry him. He's only on 6 though. What a noob.
Yeah. And that's the annoying part. If you start Graal and Angler, you don't want to upgrade the Angler for wave 4 because then you're kind of horribly overbuilt. But if you don't, you're losing 12 stacks on the Bounty Hunter and eventual Kingpin. Yeah. So that's a bit sad. But it's usually
I think he prefers the
worth
workers though, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Like you should please don't be on 430 value or something for no reason on wave 4.
When you're receiving from a really slow egg opener as well.
Yes.
But now Rostov can push really hard, and with the Hydra as well being such a unit on 6, he should be able to go for something like a big shift into Trinity Archer on 7, right? Which is normally where Hydra's very weak.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. The only problem with that play is that he's sort of vulnerable on 6, but he got income king on wave 4 again, so Wither doesn't really get too big of a send for wave 6. And I
Yeah.
think he's just gonna income anyway.
His role is just so good as well.
Yeah.
Just so good.
He's getting income here, so he's just gonna push even harder. Ugh. And
Yeah.
Kingdanzz is saving because, like, Kingdanzz usually is the income heavier player out of the two, but he also knows that Widderson's role is so good that he just needs to enable.
Oh. Jenon,
Killed.
little bro, you okay? He got his gun here, killed on wave 5. Luckily, there was no send from Kingdanzz.
Lane 4.
Lane 4.
By the way, in case someone is wondering, like, Genom is the other account of Isolde, and if we say Wezo, we mean Rostovshchik, which is his old name. Just because we're around so long, because we're grandpas already, we remember the old names.
Yeah, exactly. Alright,
Yeah,
Widderson here,
obviously-
8 workers, gets the Hellraiser out, so he's safe on 7 as well. Kingdanzz saving up on that Mythium. Widderson as well. And this time, Rostov will not get a 4 eyes out for wave 7 against King.
Yeah, and he pushed 8 workers, so he doesn't get the Trinity Archer out for next wave, so he can actually leak. It's just a question whether Widderson wants to, like, I mean, obviously this looks like a shift, right?
Yeah.
So do you trust your opponent that he actually shifted and is safe on next wave? Or do you think he's just quote-unquote debating you, and do you still full send? And he's still full sending
He's going
with
for
the
the
mole.
full send, okay.
Oof.
Yeah, I thought Widderson might just income King here after seeing the Elite Archer on Rostov's lane, but with only 200 gold to spend, 2 Tempest is just not going to cut it against the safety mole.
Yeah.
He does have the power of value.
He does have the power of value, but he has no arcane defense units on the field except for the Elite Archer, which is a very high DPS, very low tank value kind of unit.
And Isolde, he has a gun, which obviously is pretty solid damage on this wave. He also, interestingly, has a Pegasus, which is self-buffing. So, decent arcane tank, I guess, but just 0 damage on wave 7.
Oh yeah, it's 0 damage on wave 7, but I think
might
it's
just be
fine-ish.
Isolde, does power of value outweigh terrible build on the wave? You think?
Yeah,
Yes,
leaks.
looks like.
League small. Kingdanzz holds, but it was only an income send. Rostovshchik
Widderson
is
holds.
holding almost.
He can't kill
Nice.
them all, right? It's just invincible.
Yeah, but I
So now-
think now Widderson wishes he went income king, because this is not going to be enough king damage to justify the income loss.
Well, I don't know what you mean. It's 2 moles on 7. This is 30% King HP.
Yeah, nearly.
9% is basically 30%. You're a mathematician, right? That's correct.
It's a finite number, and they're basically all the same.
Yeah, true.
So. And now
Alright.
we have income sends from everyone. Rostovshchik is slightly ahead of everyone, but he does play Cartel. Kingdanzz has his Kingpin power spike coming up for wave 9, but he did push quite a lot. This reset is probably catching him off guard. I think he's going for a bit of a lead.
He should go for a bit of a leak here against the full resend. The Dino Lizard is just deleting the veteran split there, and crucially the Avenger and the Bounty Hunter are both just very weak units on wave 8.
Yep. He's going for a solid leak. This is a really good resend. The only problem
He
is
almost
this
doesn't
for
kill the
Widders.
Dino. Oh, the last attack from the APS. Wow. That would have been absolutely debilitating if that Dino had leaked through there.
That would have been a penny leak.
Yeah.
But still, I think Widderson is in such a good position right now. He's being fed, quote unquote, and he has such a good role, man. Oh,
I mean, he's matching Rostov on income when Rostov is about to lose 36 in a couple of waves' time.
yeah. He is 2 workers behind though, so he will fall behind a bit in income, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, Rostovshchik is on fire. There is I mean,
Yes.
he's playing very well this game.
Rostov is having a really nice game, actually. This is very different to game number 1. We see him topping the power score, and we see, interestingly, Kingdanzz right down at the bottom. That's unusual, but again, of course, it is because he hasn't yet realised that Kingpin power spike, so that will change, especially after Wave 10. So the downside to Cartel will kick in. Kingdanzz is going to get his Kingpin online and expect to see those power score numbers swap over in the next few waves.
Yeah, and what we also should mention is that on Wave 13, both Rostovshchik and Isolde are kind of weak. Because, you know, he's going for the Flying Trinity Archer, which is very, very strong, but it's not quite as strong on Wave 13. And Widderson and Kingdanzz, they have the freedom to save till whenever they want.
Yeah. Kingdanzz goes for a couple of snails here so that he can afford his Kingpin, so he's very fine, but the send is not coming here.
When do they want to send, though?
I don't know. I kind of expected them to send 10, honestly. Widderson is very, very weak here. Like, insanely weak here. Kingdanzz, sure, he's got the Avenger, but without the Sovereign, I think he could absolutely leak to ascend on Wave 10 as well.
Yeah.
So Widderson has used another one of his rerolls. He now has a Doomsday on the field, and I wonder if that triggers Rostov and Isolde to call a Wave 12 send.
I think they will go 12 with Overwork.
Income coming out from both Widderson and Kingdanzz, and just look at this. Even with the Millennium on the field, Widderson nearly leaked no send.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is now kind of falling into the trap of Rostov and Isolde. They go for the income. Rostov and Isolde do save. They haven't picked Overwork though. They go Lone.
Oh, Lone. Is it Lone and Giga Push?
At the moment, it's Lone and Giga Build.
Oh my god, look at this income, man.
Yeah. Wow. 35 income on Wave 11 and 55 for Lil Bro Isolde. This is... Oof.
I mean... sure, they can go for a big send, but it absolutely has to deal devastating damage.
Yeah, if this send doesn't pretty much win them the game, like 35 income on Wave 11, I don't think I've seen that before.
Yeah, I have, but very, very, very rarely.
Yeah.
Are they going 12? Are they senders?
I think if they were going 12, they would have chosen Overwork instead of Lone, right?
Yeah, but I mean, how long can you really save with 35 income?
They go 12. Here. They go here. But Kingdanzz doesn't just have Kingpin with APS. He also has the Shadow Dancer with protection. Like, he's just so strong on this wave, so very, very strong. And Widderson, like, he has the Protector Azaria. Like, sure, his other units are not great. The Millennium in particular is very weak on 12. The Mask is not tantrumed, but the White Mane is just tank value for days. The Protector Azaria is insane tank value.
Yeah, and Widder isn't even that much under. It's minus 200. Kingdanzz is even shifting 80 gold here because he's that confident.
Wow.
Oh.
The Four Eyes is wasting time on the Veteran for now, but now it's onto the meaty unit.
Is this area dying, or is it gonna smurf?
No, it's gonna smurf! Oh, it gets the heal.
Smurf. Oh, it's gonna smurf.
The heal.
Oh no, it's just gonna smurf.
He's just gonna hold?
It's just gonna smurf, he's just gonna hold.
Kingdanzz is leaking very small. Oof.
Oh my god, the smurfing Azaria, man, this is so disgusting.
I mean, it's just a very balanced unit, what can I say?
Pota Mask with Steed and Protector!
Oh, PTSD. No. Rostov, Isolde, the 35 income on 11 play. Yikes.
It was looking so good in the early game as well, and then this.
They don't even get a sniff on the king.
I mean, sure, they have like more workers now. You know, if they've one thing going for them, which is the workers, but the sand had to deal more damage. This is...
I mean, yeah, sure, more workers, but like, I don't know. They're pretty
no.
comfortably behind in income by about 40 income for the team.
Yeah.
They don't have Legion spells anymore. Remember,
Yeah.
Kingdanzz and Widderson both have Protector, which will buff their lane for the rest of the game.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing the Send also did is protect them on wave 13. Because
Yeah.
Kingdanzz and Widderson were forced to income Send. But still, this is just way too much of a price to pay for, not receiving on 13.
I kind of wonder why they didn't just go 13 themselves after getting that send on 11.
Yeah, they
Kingdanzz is way weaker on 13 than he was on 12.
Yeah, but... Ooh, okay. Widderson and Kingdanzz going for a send on 14, which is the strongest wave of Isolde and Rostovshchik.
It is.
Which is quite surprising. They income send, okay, so they read that they're getting the send. Okay.
I guess they just expect Rostov and Isolde to be saving on them and thinking like they're going to be so low value after that big long starve that
I guess, yeah.
they can undercut and get some damage in. But
probably.
But Rostov and Isolde actually reading this go for an income send, and that kind of evens up the income a little bit because they were really far behind. So now they just need to hold the send.
If they hold the send, the game is back to square one, with Kingdanzz being a bit behind, because he's the lowest on workers.
They have full king upgrades as well. Well, full attack anyway.
Full attack, yeah.
Oh,
and I expect Rostovshchik to hold,
very quickly.
Right?
Rostov should hold. I don't think Jenon will.
I mean, he's minus 400, but he has a flying Trinity Archer.
It is getting run over though, actually.
Ooh.
This is going to be a leak.
This is going to be a leak. Oh.
Isolde leaking 86%, Rostov leaking 89%.
Jesus.
And they did king upgrades, but it was only attack. So they're going to take a lot of damage here with no spell upgrades.
That's a very good read from Kingdanzz and Widderson. Reading the worker situation and sending, not being afraid of sending on their strongest wave. That was a really good call.
Yeah. I mean, they just know that they have to be suffering right after that long save that didn't get any king damage done.
Yeah, I mean, they also knew that Rostovshchik was on like 30 income, right?
Yeah.
So, good call. Good call. And now the game is essentially over because once again, Kingdanzz and Widderson, over 90% king, they can't die to one leak.
Yeah.
Whereas Rostovshchik and Isolde, 26% king, they will die to the next leak.
Yeah, even a very small leak is going to be game over for these guys. I just think their path to victory now is extremely narrow, with big ledges on either side and a long drop down.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot they can do. I mean, Rostovshchik is 2.7k value, so he's leaking whenever the send comes.
Yeah.
And Isolde is below 3k as well. And I think the send is just gonna come on wave 16 and then it's gonna be over, right? Right?
Wave 16. Yeah, but they can also just go 17 if they want. I don't think Kingdanzz and Widderson are feeling under much pressure. But no, they do go for the 16 send, as you say. Now remember, Rostov and Isolde cannot leak here. They go for the income send. I would imagine they go for some regen as well. But yeah, they need to hold. Like, with 26% king, you just can't afford to leak anymore.
Yeah. And I don't think Rostovshchik can hold. I mean, he has Ocean Templar Gates, which in itself is very strong, and Flying Elite Archer.
But he's 800 undervalue.
Yeah, and also mixing the two builds, like he doesn't have tanks. So I don't see him holding here.
Now, Lil Bro Jenon does have the Phoenix with a double Leviathan buff, which is kind of solid here, but that Phoenix really needs to smurf here.
Yeah.
So, how's it doing? It is off-tanking very nicely. The Steed's pumping it full of mana as well.
Yeah. It does tank nicely, but now the Steeds are dead.
Yeah, and now the Phoenix is going down as well. Phoenix is down, I repeat, Phoenix is down. And there comes the forfeit from Rostov, there comes the GG from Isolde. And Team Abrasiert, 2-0 in these Nova Cup finals.
GG, well rolled, Widderson. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, he picked redraw, right?
Yeah, true. But still, you know, if I got Pota Mask Steed with every time I picked redraw, I would only play redraw.
Yeah, because it's the best role in the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's insane. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Kingdanz even made mistakes in the early game, fell behind, but it just didn't really matter. Jesus. And that hold on 12 is just, it's disgusting.
Yeah, the hold on 12 was just insane. I really am surprised that Rostov and Isolde, one, didn't pick overwork when they were going for this play, and two, didn't just decide to go for a 13 send after getting this income from Kingdanzz and Widderson on wave 11.
Yeah, and it's also unlike them because they only saved from wave 8 into 12, where usually they save for at least 5 waves.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that's where they went wrong.
Yeah, tried and true method, you know, like they, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we see a wave 16 victory there for Widderson and Kingdanzz. Team Abrasiert are now 2-0 in the lead. Rostov and Isolde, please, some signs of life. We can't have a 3-0 clean sweep in the grand finals, can we?
I mean, we had one last time, right?
What with the Green Spirit and Kid K? Was that a 3-0?
That was a 3-0, yeah, against
Wow.
Bonnie and Adamus.
Oh, okay, it was an easy opponent.
Yeah, of course it was easy, but you know.
Well, Bonnie at least, obviously not Adamus.
Yeah.
All right, so we are waiting in lobby number 3. Everything to play for now for Kingdanzz and Widderson. Are they going to be the very first Nova Cup champions of 2023, or can Isolde and Little Bro Jenham have a miracle comeback here and reverse sweep the king himself? What do you think?
I don't believe in it, but maybe. Okay, so first game they looked pretty, like it looked very one-sided. But the second game, the early game, went very well for Rostovshchik and Isolde, so they've like very much improved, right? So maybe now they can just repeat the early game and then learn from their mistakes mid-game and also play that one much better, and then they will win for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that when you're playing against Widderson and Kingdanzz, they're just not going to make many mistakes, right? So
yeah.
You cannot, like you just said, right? You made it sound kind of simple. All they have to do is play really well in the early game, really well in the mid game, and then really well in the end game as well. So if they play perfectly and don't make any mistakes and have good rolls, then Rostov and Isolde can reverse sweep. 3 times in a row they need to do that. Remember, it's a tough position to be in. But come on, guys, you've got to at least win a couple of games here. All the fans in Twitch chat are wanting a nice best of 5 series. So come on, let's cheer for Rostov and Isolde as we go into game number 3. Let's go. Sietram on 7.
Let's go. Sietram on 7. Let's go, guys. Come on. Fiesta Pixie.
All right. Lock in for
Lock
Isolde.
in
It's
Looter.
Lock in Looter. And
There
Cartel
we go.
from Rostov and Kingdanzz with Chaos for game number 3.
Chaos.
Chaos is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. Isolde has such a good opener with his looters, with
Yeah.
the Gate Guide and double pack rat. It's so good, man.
You can also go for like the Windhawk double pack rat and just go for a really long wave so that you always get 60 Mythium on 2 if that's what you want to go for. Like, we can see that Widderson has Nightmare and Oathbreaker, so that play won't work, or at least it certainly won't work on wave 2. But obviously Isolde doesn't know that.
Yeah, and he will get 80 pre-income for wave 3 if he plays for the Looter Gate Guard or Looter Windhawk, which can very much punish Nightmare Oathbreaker on wave 3.
Yeah.
If he goes 5 workers, which Widderson will, knowing Widderson. Ooh, and Kingdanzz is greeting on wave 1. Let's see if Rostovshchik realizes that there might be a greed and snails. But no, that would be a bad play, considering his mate is going Gate Guard double looter.
Yeah. But Isolde is saving here on 1. He will, I think, be a little bit disappointed. Oh, the double snail coming out from King and Widder. Okay, I think Isolde is absolutely fine with this. Like, he's going to leak 3 creeps. The wave's going to be very long. He saved on 1. He's got the double pack rats. Oh, but now he sees the nightmare. He just immediately sends that snail.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. He knows.
He knows. If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. And if you don't ask.
He can still 60 the nightmare player though, right? Like, this is basically the same play that I was talking about, that if you did the Windhawk into the 1 creep leak on wave 1, you can always send 60.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't open Windhawk, but Kingdanzz is giving him the leak instead. So
This is what happened game 1 with Kingdanzz sending into the Grawl.
Yep. But
In
Widderson...
the semis, yeah.
Oh no, Widderson does push the 5th worker. So if Isolde wants to send the lizard here, which he can, this should be a leak from the nightmare player. Not a big one though.
Yeah, if Widderson gets 60 cent here, I think he's very happy.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like a save from Isolde. Kind of wondering why he sent the snail in that case. Because he's just chilling on 31 gold as well, so he didn't need the 6 gold here.
I think he wants to debate Widderson. He's kept 20 Methium behind.
Yeah.
He wants to debate Widderson into pushing 6 workers, which is almost always a mistake with Nightmare. And then he wants to leak him on wave 3. But can we take a look at this?
So now that lizard would have been a pretty good play, right? Because they'd have taken some decent king damage.
Hello? Is this the police? Yes, yes. I want to report an illegal build. Can you please take a look at this Waldschrum Oath infiltrator positioning on wave 2? Because that is, in fact, highly illegal.
But King gets the Fiend in income against Isolde, who does skillfully have the casket here, so he should do... Well, I was going to say he should do okay. He's 230 value. I think he's going to go for a bit of a leak.
Oh no, that's a big risk he's taking.
Yeah.
If
Rostov will easily hold though.
Yeah. Rostov is fine, but is this 100%er because we're focusing the? Okay, we're not
the gate guard is
focusing
attacking the creeps. That's good. So he won't 100% it.
That's good.
He's even got some nice split tank actually. Summon,
Does he get another summon?
No!
Oh, no!
That summon would have just cleared up all of these froggos!
Oh, no!
Oh, lil bro Jenon, that is so unfortunate. It was over 13 mana on the gate guard. It was so close to the doggo.
Oh, that hurts.
The doggo would have snacked on so many of those frogs.
And I think we might be seeing a repeat of game 1 here. There's the resend. Okay, of course, Rostovshchik is holding, but I'm not sure if Jenon is doing so well with his double gate guard. Maybe he's fine with the casket. I don't know. What do you think? Is this fine?
I mean, he's low value. Like, if it was the second stack on the casket, then yes, definitely.
Yeah, then he's fine. But like this?
Like this, I don't know. But they have some Mythium. They both have 100 Mythium. There's double pack rats here from Jenon. I don't think they'll go 5.
No, they'll go for the Seatram on 7. Of course.
Seatram on 7. The clue was there all along. He does hold. He holds it, and actually quite easily.
Okay. Nice.
But this was only a lizard send.
No!
They go on 5? Nani?
No, that's not a Seatram.
Yeah, it's not a siege ram, and this isn't wave 7. And Widderson adding a Mudman here to go with his Nightmare build. He already has the Oathbreaker, he already has the Sea Dragon. He's just so strong on wave 5. And Kingdanzz, you know, he has 3 infiltrators on the board.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna leak. I mean, if he leaks, then it's at least not a big leak. Especially because the flower isn't countered by the fiends.
No. The flower is not counted by the fiends.
Contrary to common belief. Yeah. And Widderson's Oathbreaker is just absolutely smurfing.
Yeah, it's still alive. It dies now, but like the damage is done, right? The Nightmare's even going to kill all of the little scorpions off. Does it get the DT as well? It does. Does he just hold?
Does he kill the imp? Does he kill it?
I think he does. He does. He's leaking one Scorpion against a 140 send on 5.
He's just holding.
He's just full holding. Wow.
Oh, man. And Rostovshchik just pushing to 10 workers because he knows he has to do something after this failed. But Widderson is on 9 workers as well. And Isolde is still on 4 workers. Of course, hunting,
he has
but,
double
you know,
pack rats,
long waves.
The total Mythium Isolde is actually ahead of both Kingdanzz and Widderson, just because 4 workers and 2 pack rats is a lot of Mythium. That might change now that Widderson's on 9.
Yeah.
He's going to start to catch up again, but yeah, Isolde is not as far behind as his 4 workers might make you think.
That is true, but still, you know, now the double, like, he has essentially used the biggest power spike off of the double pack rat, and he's behind.
Yeah.
Like, normally he want to be a lot ahead in power score right now, because the biggest power spike of rats is just early game.
Yeah. Now this Fiend resend here does help him out a bit. It gives him very easy push. His build can already hold wave 7. So he can just shift here, get his bunk on 8, where he's otherwise looking pretty vulnerable. And the double hunt as well. He doesn't shift, he just pushes it into workers. So he's actually doubled his worker count between wave 6 and wave 7.
Yeah, and now with the pack rats, so just for Twitch chat, roughly a pack rat is like 1.5 workers, a bit closer to 2 in the early game and falling off towards 1 later on. Right now you could just say 2 rats hunted equals 3 workers.
Yeah.
So essentially he has 11 workers. Which is good, I mean.
And Rostov there on 10 as well. So he's having another good game. Like, he had a good game in game 2 as well.
Yeah.
Obviously playing Cartel again, so there will be that downside when we move into the mid-game.
Yeah. But when do they send their enormous amounts of Mythium? Is it wave 8? Kingdanzz and Widderson are sending wave 8, but just income.
It is wave 8 and also income. Okay.
Everyone wave 8. That's surprising, I think. Yeah.
So I think Rostov and Isolde are saying, we just want to outscale you this time around.
Yeah. Or I think they are saying, okay, we are under too much pressure to really go for a leak or a longer save, so we have to send. But you're not so weak here that we can do a lot of damage, so let's just go income.
Kingdanzz is spending 10
work.
gold on boost here. He might be a bit sad about when he sees it's only income, but it's an easy hold regardless.
Yeah, let's see if Isolde and Rostovshchik can hold here, because the send is reasonably big.
That's what she said. But Rostov did harden his Mudman here, so he's going to be very, very fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, both Isolde and Rostov are holding easily. Kingdanzz, not that easy actually. Full send would have got him here.
Yeah, and he's not regretting the boost.
No.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And now Pack Rat Gaming kicks in again, of course.
Yeah. I wonder what Rostov and Isolde are aiming for. I think Widderson and Kingdanzz are fine, just, you know, thinking, okay, when do we go for the next send, and fine just playing for the late game. But I think Rostov and Isolde are looking to get some serious damage done very soon. And I wonder if they go for a wave 8 play, wave 11 play, but there is Sacrifice and there's Pulverizer.
Yeah, 2 defensive spells. There is an offensive spell, but it is counter-attack, which is kind of the least offensive spell on wave 11.
Yeah.
Only a 50 Mythium bonus there. But Rostov, I mean, he's got some workies.
Yeah, they have a lot of Mythium, but I don't think they really want to go 10 into Widderson and Kingdanzz, because Widderson is going to have a doppelganger, and
Kingdanzz is going to have a Kingpin. But they do, and it's a Mimic into the Kingpin on 10. Like, you know he's going to have a Kingpin here, right? It's kind of a low-stacked Kingpin.
Yeah, it's good against everything else.
It is good against most other things.
Yeah, I mean...
He will get a Brute to go with it as well if he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, but then the Brute just gets sniped. I don't think it's worth it.
Hmm.
But everyone is sending here, and everyone is going for leaks, except for Isolde, who's just income
Rostov
sending.
has a doppelganger, but it doesn't have lifesteal, and he doesn't have that many tanks in front.
Yeah, it can leak. It can certainly leak, especially against the Brute. But the Brute also gets sniped. This
The
is
Brute
what I
also
mean.
gets sniped.
And this one also
and
got
the
sniped.
doppelganger is sniping the pack leader. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like a leak actually on Rostov. Kingdanzz, how are you doing? You sniped the Mimic and the Brute. So only the boss remains. All of his Swift tanks keeping the Kingpin alive as long as possible. 47% leak on Rostov, full hold on Isolde, full hold on Widderson, and Kingdanzz, it looks like a very small leak, 25% there. Yeah, I think he's going to be a bit sad that that Mimic died so quickly. He needed that to deal damage against all of those Swift tanks. Easy full cover by Widderson, and not quite the same for Isolde. So first blood will be drawn here on wave 10 for the side of Abrasiert.
Yeah. But what's the next send, really? I mean, you can't plan when Kingdanzz is gonna be really weak, because he has Chaos, so he can just roll good units.
Yep.
But you can work around Widderson, but unfortunately, his first real weak wave is going to be wave 15. But even for wave 15, he can have a Phoenix, which will make him strong there. So it's kind of hard for Rostovshchik and Isolde to really go, okay, let's target wave Y and really go for some damage there. But then again, Kingdanzz and Widderson, they also don't really see a very big weak wave on Rostovshchik or Isolde that would be worth aiming for, I think.
Yeah. Rostov showing the Fire Lord here.
Yeah.
Ping instantly comes out. So Widderson has spotted that, now knows that Rostov is nowhere near as weak on 13 as they might have hoped.
Yeah. Kingdanzz has Sacrifice with Chaos, by the way,
Yeah.
which is a really strong combination.
Absolutely. Kind of a pawn shop light, right? Like the absolute best spell for Chaos is obviously pawn shop, but Sacrifice is a pretty good second place.
Absolutely. I wonder if it's just going to be wave 13 sends, because, you know, that's the quote-unquote natural wave to send on after a 10 send.
Yeah.
But
Widderson, with his 17 workers, will he be able to afford double 4-eyes? I think without that, he's going to really struggle to leak Rostovshchik's Phoenix, especially with a Pulverizer Doppelganger behind it.
He does, and he does the U play, which is shift 300 gold to not show he has Firelord in his role, to bait the send and have Phoenix. But with this shift, he definitely needs to send to get the Phoenix. So I wonder if they will just go for it. Does he get it with the send even? It's gonna be close.
I think he will get double 4-eyes, but he has to skip income for the second one if that's what he wants to do.
And then he doesn't get Phoenix. Oh.
They save. And there's the Nagler from Rostov.
Get Nagled, my friend.
So Widderson, he has to sell something. He doesn't have Sacrifice, unlike his counterpart.
He doesn't really have something good to sell either. But Firelord is still a good Swift tank.
Wonder if Kingdanzz just sacrifices his Kingpin here.
I don't think he's scared enough to do that. I think if he's scared, he's just gonna boost his Orchids. Yeah,
he
and that's gonna be fine. Oh no, Widderson sold everything. A lot for the Phoenix.
Yeah, and the upper split.
Yeah.
I mean, the Phoenix is gonna do its thing though, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
The 4-eyes, what are you attacking? You're attacking the Doppelganger. So he is going to get rid of that Pulverizer at least. But the Phoenix is just absolutely smurfing there for Widderson.
He's leaking the 4-eyes, and Kingdanzz is also leaking because the Nagler is just too strong. And his gate units are doing gate things. Oh, he leaked one creep.
He's leaking the Nagler and a low HP creep and a Brute. This is very little king damage here. Oh, sorry, what am I talking about? This is 50% king damage.
Yeah, this is 50% king damage.
There is a Nagler there is a 4-eyes.
When do they go? Do they go here, or is it 15?
I mean, the answer is whenever they want. They have crazy Mythium stored up on the side of King and Widder. 630 for Widder, 580 for King. They have the worker lead.
But,
yeah.
But this is where tenacity comes in, right? Now Kingdanzz and Widderson, usually old patch, you just go 15 or even 16 and one-shot. But now you can't one-shot. So, is this worth it? Especially since Widderson pushed really hard. Like, after building, he's gonna be minus 400 here. So he's not gonna be super easy holding on 15. He might just leak himself to on wave 15. And Rostovshchik and Isolde, they are smelling this save, so they are saving themselves to counter send on 15.
They have to send on 15 though. But this could be very dangerous for King and Widder. Like, sure, Kingdanzz is going to get the Ocean Templar on 15, which is giga broken, especially when it's buffing a canopy. He has the Orchids as well, so he can boost those for a bit of extra power. But look at their values. Very, very low value on Kingdanzz and Widderson.
Yeah, exactly. And as I said, they can't one-shot, whereas they can easily die.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not so sure this is a good play by them. They shouldn't have pushed this hard after 13.
Kingdanzz is leaking no send, which just guarantees that Rostov and Isolde will send here on 15.
Yeah, they will full send. They know this.
They have to. They have to full send. If they go income king here, this is a big mistake from these guys.
Yeah. Oh, but without king ups, they might die.
That's true.
So this is the question. If you go
it's a full send.
And, yeah. But if they had full attacks, they wouldn't die here. So. Okay, let's see.
The sends are enormous coming out from Kingdanzz and Widderson, but they took 8% king HP there from 2.5 slugs.
Yep.
So they really, really can't afford to leak at all here. Kingdanzz can get another Orchid and then boost everything. He still has his sacrifice as well, so that's going to help. And Rostov has the Phoenix with the double Leviathan buff. He has 4 canopies as well. Very, very good tanks on this wave.
Yeah. But he's getting noggled.
He is getting noggled. Isolde, he's just going to have value. Well, I don't like the bunk. Really don't like the bunk.
Now they do king attacks, so they want to survive here.
They've done a bit of half and half. Well, we know they can't die with their king attack boosted, but they probably don't win either with 60 Mythium spent on not
Widderson might just hold because he is on the boss with the Pulverizer Doppel.
He is down. Rostov leaks 122%, Lil Bro leaks 114%. This is a lot of king damage, but tenacity, remember.
Widderson leaks. Widderson
does leak.
Kingdanzz is close. Might leak as well. Okay, let's see how much damage does this do.
Let's have a look. Kingdanzz
does it kill them? Do they actually die? Is the Needler this strong?
Is it possible?
I think it is. Do they die? They one-shot! They one-shot in the finals!
They died!
Against Tenacity, what the fuck?
I didn't realize it was possible.
Damn.
Wow. Okay.
But they only were at 94% king. Okay,
yeah,
so that's
big difference. Big difference.
Big difference. Wow.
No.
The balls on these guys to go for a one-shot play in a grand finals against Tenacity. Jesus.
And they made it happen. They would have died. No, maybe they wouldn't have died. They leaked a very low HP boss on Kingdanzz.
But then the game is at least even. If Rostovshchik and Isolde survive. Oof, Jesus. Damn. Well played, Kingdanzz, Widderson.
Holy moly. Kingdanzz and Widderson 3-0 in this Nova Cup January finals. These guys are not messing around.
No. They want to go back to TFT, I think. Jesus.
Okay.
Man, they played so well. Like, that's incredibly impressive.
I mean, they're just showing us why they're the best players in Legion right now. Like, these guys are just on another level, it seems. Insane plays here from Kingdanzz and Widderson. And Rostov and Isolde, like, Game 2 and Game 3, they definitely gave it a good fight. Like, both of those games could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Kind of gutted, actually, that they didn't win this game number 3, so that we could at least have another game for the cast. It's a bit of a shame. But, you know, these things happen. Kingdanzz and Widderson, incredibly strong opponents. There's no shame in losing to these guys.
Oh no, it can happen to the best.